Ayy, I wear my heart on my sleeve like it's the latest fashion. All my niggas from the streets, they be staying active. You be saying you real, but you be fucking capping. I put fire on your OG like a book of matches. I wear my heart on my sleeve like it's the latest fashion. All my niggas from the streets, they be staying active. You be saying you real, but you be fucking capping.
Clear, clear, clear! Hey, get up, get up, get up. Get the fuck up right now, get the fuck up right now. Come on, let's go, get down. Get up, get down now, get down there. Clear it! Hey, get down! Wait a minute, why are you in my house? This is a mistake! Hold on, get off my wife. Wait a minute. What are you doing in my house? This is a mistake. Bingo.
Tag it! Get the forensics for matching the shells found at the scene.
Somebody tell me what the hell is going on right now.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be held against you in a court of law.
What the hell are you talking about?
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Where did they take my son? Sir, please tell us what's going on. My wife is horrified. We just want to know what this is all about.
You're under arrest for the murder of 2 people at a downtown nightclub.
We haven't killed anyone. We've been here all night. We're hardworking people. I've never even gotten a speeding ticket.
We know you didn't do it, but your son did.
No, that's not possible. There's no way I could have done.
There were witnesses.
So why are you arresting us? Lower that weapon from my wife's face. I'll have your badges for this. Get away from my wife.
Get down now, get down, get down.
The accused gunman says he opened fire in the large downtown crowd to protect himself from somebody else who had a gun.
Residents who live near that nightclub say it's been a hot spot for trouble for quite some time, and ultimately they're hoping that the city will shut it down.
Perhaps the biggest hot button topics of the night, crime and public safety.
Some who live nearby say since then the gunshots ring out regularly on the weekends. They want to see the establishment shut down for good.
Crime-fighting plan, if it doesn't include guns, illegal guns.
Who are you?
My name's Gail, Martha Gail. I'm your court-appointed attorney.
I'm sorry to waste your time, Mrs. Gale, but I don't need an attorney. Neither does my family. We've done nothing wrong.
Sir, if you don't want me to represent you, that's fine, but you and your wife and your son are going to be in front of a judge tomorrow, and I assure you, you will need representation. Your son has already talked with his lawyer.
Wait, why do we have separate attorneys? And where's my wife? Does she have her own representation?
Sir, you and your wife will share counsel. Sir, do you not understand what's happening here?
No, I don't. And that's what I keep telling everyone. The police, they barge into our home, throw my son on the floor, claim to find a gun under my couch.
They're saying Stevie killed someone, which is crazy because he would never.
Sir, there are witnesses who say your son approached 2 men in a nightclub, shot them at point-blank range, and then ran out of the back of the club.
But who? And why? Steve's not a violent person. If this happened, it must have been self-defense.
The victims were unarmed, sir. Listen to me. Who and why your son killed is not your biggest problem right now. Have you been following the news recently? The Senate finally passed the Responsible Act, making parents susceptible to charges if their children commit crimes. Any crimes, including murder.
So you're telling me my wife and I can go to jail because of something that my son is responsible for?
And in an unprecedented decision, the Senate has approved the new law that holds parents accountable for the crimes of their children. Now, in several states, parents can be arrested and charged with crimes that have been committed by their children.
Do you understand why you've been arrested?
No, I don't. They said that my son Stevie shot somebody. He's not even capable of doing that. Do you think he could do that?
He did. And because of a new law, you and your husband could go to prison for a very long time because of what your son did. I met with your husband and explained everything to him, and I need to explain it all to you now because we will all be in court tomorrow, and the judge is going to want to know our plea.
Innocent! We're innocent!
Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Your husband said the same thing. I have to warn you of one thing, though. If your son Steve doesn't also plead not guilty, it could affect whether the judge accepts our
Plea? What plea?
It's because you are not charged directly with the murders of those two people. According to this, under this new law, as Steve's parents, you're charged with not raising and nurturing him in a way that would have prevented this crime.
God, it sounds like they're trying to charge us for being bad parents. Stevie had an excellent life. My husband and I are good parents. He never wanted for anything. He never needed anything.
Unfortunately, that is not the question here. According to the law, something was missing from Steve's parenting, something that he should have learned in order to make better decisions.
But that's not our fault. How would we know?
The law says you should have known. It's your job to know.
Honey, I'm so scared.
I'm scared too. What's going on with Steve? Why do they have him sitting over there?
It's like I told you last night, Steve has his own representation.
Steve, honey, it's mommy and daddy. Stevie, look at us, baby.
She's okay.
Honey,
Please, ma'am, calm down.
Morning, everyone. Please be seated. So I understand that we have our first case under the new Responsibility Act. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Steve Logan is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder.
And the parents?
The parents are being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder by negligence under the Responsibility Act.
Your Honor, this is ridiculous. We are hardworking, educated people.
Order, Mr. Logan.
I refuse to accept this.
Order. Mr. and Mrs. Logan, I recognize this must be very confusing and frightening for you, but we cannot have those kinds of outbursts in my courtroom. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
As I was saying, Your Honor, the parents are being charged with 2 counts of murder in the first degree.
And we're here today to hear the defendant's pleas to the charges. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Well, let's start with Steve Logan here. Mr. Logan, would you rise, please? Steve Logan, you're being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. If you're found guilty of this crime, the maximum penalty is death. Do you understand this? I need you to answer verbally, Mr. Logan.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
And how do you plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Very well. Let the court record reflect that Steve Logan has pleaded not guilty to the charges filed against him.
Your Honor, we'd like to request bail.
Who's going to pay that bail, counselor? I mean, your client's parents are right behind you facing serious charges as well. Mr. Logan, do you have any family members at all who might be willing to post your bail? Excuse me?
No, Your Honor.
I didn't think so. Request for bail denied. Steve Logan, you're remanded into custody until a trial date is set. You may sit, sir. Have a seat. And now we're going to move on to the co-defendants, Mr. and Mrs. Logan. Would you rise, please? Mr. and Mrs. Logan, do you understand the charges against you?
It's okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. No, I don't. I don't understand any of this, Your Honor. I don't understand why my son would do something like this, and I don't understand why the court is holding my husband and I responsible
Mrs.
for
Logan,
this.
this is a conversation you should have had with your attorney before this hearing. Now is not the time for this.
But, Your Honor, you are the judge. And if you can't explain it to us, then no one can. Your Honor, I just ask that you just take a minute and put yourself in our shoes, okay? Let's say that you have a child. You have a child and your child makes a mistake. You are a judge. The court is gonna hold you responsible.
Enough! Order in this court. Miss Gale, you need to instruct your clients to remain orderly while they're in my courtroom. Another outburst like that, and I will add contempt to the list of charges already against them.
Yes, Your Honor, we
Add
apologize.
contempt? Your Honor, this judicial system should be held in contempt.
Order, Mr. Logan.
I'm sorry, excuse my temperament, but we want to know what this is all about.
Again, you need to talk to Miss Gale. Now we're going to move on. Mr. and Mrs. Logan, how do you plead to the charges against you?
Not guilty.
Your Honor, we would like to request bail for Mr. and Mrs. Logan so that they may continue to work and to take care of their children up until the trial.
Ms. Gale, I wish you'd made that request before I denied their son's bail. Because of that, I have to do the same thing here. Request for bail denied as to both defendants. You're hereby remanded into custody until your trial date.
But
Your Honor, Your Honor, we will lose our jobs.
Your
Please,
Honor,
please allow us to bail.
My 8-year-old and my 10-year-old, Your Honor, they need their parents. What's going to happen to my kids? Please, Your Honor, please.
I am sorry, but it's the law. And this court is adjourned.
We'll figure it out.
There's a lot to unpack here.
What do you think I should do?
It's a good deal. Takes the death penalty off the table.
I mean, if we take it to trial, I mean, what do you think will happen? Could you get me no jail time?
That would be difficult because of all the witness statements. No one we interviewed could say it was self-defense. Everyone said you walked in, allegedly targeted the victims, and fired.
What about temporary insanity or something?
It's possible, but no one said you appeared to be out of your mind. Witness statements present a picture of a premeditated hit. Not to mention, the entire thing is seen on surveillance footage. The only reason they're offering a deal is to save money on a long trial. But there's no way you won't get any jail time.
Whose side are you on? I mean, you keep telling me what won't work.
Hey, sit your ass down.
Tell me what will work.
Now.
We're okay, officer. Listen, your parents want to talk to you.
What? When?
Your father's on his way in here now. Their lawyer worked something out with the DA.
Now wait right here.
We'll finish this discussion later.
Okay.
You got 30 minutes? Yes, sir. Thank you. Steve, talk to me. How could you hurt those people like that? No. Look where we are now. Look what you've done to our family. And why?
You wouldn't understand.
Well, help me understand. Because right now, I'm looking at you, and I don't even recognize you. They said you walked up to them people and shot them in cold blood.
Yeah, I did it.
Steve, why?
Because of the way they was looking at me. Like, I was nothing. They disrespected me, and I can't allow that. I live by my rep, and I gotta protect it.
There you have it. So you killed two people because of the way they was looking at you.
Destroyed our family because of how they was looking at you. Because of how they was looking at you. Huh? Look at you now. You are a nobody. You are a nobody. You nothing. And you dragging me and your mother down with you. Huh? Huh? Because of the way they was looking at you. gonna take me and your mother down with you for this? What about your brothers? Huh? What about them?
All rise.
Morning, everyone. Please be seated. So I understand a plea deal's been reached.
Your Honor, we don't know anything about a plea deal.
What deal?
Your Honor, as the lead defendant, my client is not required to discuss any deals offered by the state.
But what do you mean? It's my understanding that any deal that is applied to the lead defendant is automatically going to be applied to my clients.
That's correct.
But Your Honor, that's not fair. That's not fair to us.
Mrs. Logan, please remember what I said about my courtroom. There will be no outbursts in here. What are the terms of this deal?
Your Honor, the defendant has agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for a 40-year sentence.
40 years? Steve!
Order in the courtroom, Mr. Logan.
Me and your mother can't survive 40 years? That would be a life sentence for me and your mother.
Order in the courtroom, Mr. Logan.
Steve!
Order, Mr. Logan.
How could you do this to us?
Your Honor, this is hardly fair. We haven't had time to discuss
Again,
any
Your
of this.
Honor, under the Responsible Act, co-defendants in this situation have no say on the decision to make a deal.
Who's gonna take care of my baby?
Steve, we can't survive 40 years in prison. Steve, you've killed 2 people, and now you're gonna kill 2 more. Steve, don't do this.
Look, I'm taking this deal. I could get out in 35 years and still have a life. Y'all lived a full life. I'm young and I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison.
Mr. Logan! Order! Order! Bailiff! Officer! Order! Order in the courtroom! Order!
Before you give me 40 years, you're gonna die yourself.
Look, it's a good deal and I'm taking it. If y'all die, y'all die. Y'all responsible for me.
No rules to the game.
Nothing that'll take away the pain. Gotta go and face it. Remember smoking sour to the brain. Gotta go and face it. Fucked up and the judge gave me that 40. Gotta go and face it. They be tweeting one thing and in public show you different faces. Different faces. Same coin. Judge said you ever been to jail, boy. Switching places. Pain gone. Mama, don't you cry about your baby boy. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. 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 Yeah, I'm smoking. I think I'm high. Out here causing damage on the city blocks. Windows open, out the Glock. Only take a second till that body dry. Body dry, that's a body dead. Bet you never find out where the body at. 40 years.